Greetings everybody, how are y'all doing today? It's another Saturday and let's talk some sports. And my brother and I were actually listening to I believe it was the Dan Patrick show the other day, it was a couple of days ago. And they were talking about what qualifies as a sport. And I'm guessing I think it was either Reddit or Deadspin. They ran just like a general poll on like the non-traditional sports. What do you consider a sport? And it's interesting because out of all of the selections that they had, none of the selections had 100% a sport. Like boxing was at 96% of people who took the poll believe that boxing is considered a sport. And a couple of the ones that were on the low end of the poll were like I think video games or poker, chess. I think those were like the three at the bottom. And the reason why we want to talk about it is because it really differs on opinion, because different people have their own opinion on what is considered a sport. Some people would consider if there's a ball, it's a sport. If you sweat a lot in the activity, it's considered a sport. And also last year there was a stir of kind of not controversy, but there were news about the U.S. government actually approving League of Legends to be a part of the Olympics, since they approved League of Legends players to be professional athletes. Now they're capable of getting sports visas to represent their country during international play. So it's very interesting to consider people who are sitting down on a computer playing a video game to be considered a professional athlete, because you would think a professional athlete is someone who has an athlete to be very physical and very big and muscular, or who has that special ability. But now it's going down to the level of special ability to have great hand-eye coordination and things like that, and being able to sit down and just play a sport. You wouldn't really think about sports as playing a video game. Now it's in consideration to be an Olympic event. So now this is kind of the reason why we want to talk about what do you consider a sport. So we kind of thought of like some different criteria on what we consider a sport, and we're going to list down some of the non-traditional sports or activities, and we're going to kind of do we have these green and red papers, if we agree or not agree if it's a sport or not, and we're going to just kind of evaluate on our decisions on why. So here's the criteria that we have on what we're considering to be a sport.
There's multiple levels of competition. There's a minor, an amateur, professional league. You're able to make it a living off of it. You can make a career off of it. You need to have it requires a special talent or ability, and that activity has to go beyond a natural person's capabilities.
Yeah, you can't like just step on the field or step on the court and be able to play that activity. So the first one is poker. Sport or not a sport? Okay, so the reason why I say it's not a sport is because pretty much poker is all about luck. Yeah, you have the professionals that are able to read the play, and they can play without looking at their cards and things like that. But in the end, it's always the amateurs that always get lucky and win against the professionals, because they get that river card and they make their straight, they make their flush. And there's a reason why that the pros don't make it to the final table every year now. It's because the amateurs just get lucky over the pros, and it really is just about luck, especially in poker.
And there's a lot of uncertainty. There's no guarantee that you're always gonna win. It's 50% of it's based on luck, and there's some really great players like Phil Ivey, who's considered the best in the world, but he hasn't even won the main event yet.
Yeah.
And
I know I give credit to Phil Ivey for getting all his bracelets and everything and having the most bracelets out of any poker player, but he's getting bracelets through these small events, not like the big main event. And I know that throughout the past couple years, Phil Ivey has been like a chip leader at one time during the middle of the main event, but he always like gets eliminated during the middle. He's never like in the top like 20 or top 10 in the final table. So it's very rare to see it would be very rare to see all professionals in a main event. in a main event final table. Sorry about that. Chess, sport or not a sport?
Ready to go.
For me, I just think chess is a game. You know, it's not really anything that I would consider a sport. I know with the criteria and everything, if you tell someone the basic rules of chess, they could play, but it does take a desired skill to beat somebody. But I wouldn't consider it a sport.
It is a sport. It requires increased mental ability. You have to anticipate person's moves. It is a game that you could make a living off of, and that you could win constantly. There's no luck involved. It's just all just being able to outplay your opponent and being smart. And it requires a lot of intellect.
I wouldn't make that a career move, though.
It is a move. It is a career move.
I wouldn't want to. You really think you?
There's a lot of people that make money off of chess.
But playing chess and making that as a career.
You just don't know it, dude.
You know, like
you just don't know it.
Would you go to a bar and say, "Yeah, I'm a
Next
professional
one.
chess player. I make money
Next
off playing
one.
chess."
That's impressive.
Cheerleading, the big dance-offs in cheerleading. Think Bring It On, but on a serious level. Sport or not a sport?
I don't know.
Ready, set, okay. I would consider that kind of a cheerleading and dance-offs a sport. It requires a good amount of practice and skill to do cheerleading. A lot of teamwork, a lot of coordination, and it's really. And I would think that they would make that their life, you know, because it's pretty similar to dance.
And if gymnastics is considered a sport, then I would consider cheerleading a sport, because it's more like a team-based sort of gymnastics and tumbling. It requires a lot of practice, because you can't just go out there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go backflip." Because that's never gonna happen. You gotta learn how to backflip, learn how to do all those flips, learn how to do those carries or whatever.
Yeah, you have to trust your teammates to catch you when you're in the middle of the air.
It requires teamwork. Yeah. It requires a lot of individual.
A lot of strength.
Yeah. And flexibility. There's like about 50% of the world is like not even flexible at all. So.
Yeah, so props to you, cheerleaders, male and female, of course. Dancing, sport or not a sport?
If you've seen those Red Bull breakdancing championships, those look so sick. Like, there's no those are like top 1% in the world that are able to do that. Like, probably like 99% of the world can't even breakdance. It's super hard. Requires a lot of strength, a lot of arm strength, a lot of leg ability, a lot of flexibility, and
it takes a lot of coordination.
And you can even have San Diego's one of the top dance cities where you see a lot of crews that are based here, and they make a living off of dancing. They hold classes, they go to competitions like Body Rock, Artificial, and stuff, and they're able to make a lot of money. Like, have you seen Brian Puspos, America's Best Dance Crew? Those guys are making a lot of money.
Yeah, because they do, and it's international. They don't like dancers like Brian Puspos, of course. He doesn't just stay in the U.S. He freaking travels to Europe almost every month just to do classes with them. And
people pay
crazy.
Like $200 just for him to teach them.
Yeah.
Just for an hour too.
I would consider it a sport. It takes not everyone can dance, especially at that level.
Not everyone's coordinated with their body.
Yeah, if you look at the top dance crews in the world, to see how coordinated they are and how fluid their movements are, you can't just get a group of people and think that they can make choreography and sync together like that. So you have to work together as a team to be able to do that. Think of the Jabberwockies. They do that for a living. And
but they're on Las Vegas show and everything.
And they're huge right now, and that requires a great amount of skill. And the huge one, video games, sport or not a sport?
Sport.
I don't think it's a sport.
It's a
Sorry,
sport.
guys.
It's a sport, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Guys,
It's just very difficult to think of it. Video games.
you're just ignorant.
sport.
You're just ignorant, dude.
Look, I understand.
Are you gonna
that-
go out there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go beat the best Madden player, the best League of Legends player, or the best FIFA player"? No, those guys have such great reflexes, such intellect that they go out there, they stream, they make a lot of money off of Twitch and MLG. Those guys, Call of Duty players, they go to MLG, they win tens of thousands of dollars. You know the Dota 2 championship, the World Championship, the first place team got like $7 million, dude. How do cheerleaders make $7 million in a year? I don't think so, dude. No.
So are you saying that these guys, these video gamers, they don't need another job? They could just straight on play
Yes,
video
there's
games?
people that make a living off of video games. Have you seen PewDiePie? PewDiePie, the #1 YouTuber in the world, he made $1 million last year off of playing video games. Off of him just turning on the webcam just like this, playing a video game, and him recording his reactions. People stream every day and make hundreds of dollars every month, thousands of dollars every month, just playing video games.
No, I'm just talking about people, not YouTubers. Take out YouTubers. Just people, just video gamers who play and go to competitions.
Yes,
Are they
they
using
make-
that money for their career, for
Yes,
their life?
they make they make a living off of it, dude. They go to competitions and they make a living off of playing video games.
That's living the dream right there, kids.
Yeah, dude. If you watch the story of Alfredo, the League of Legends player, his parents gave him 2 months to actually win championships, and he got $8,000 in 2 months. He's able to make a living off of that. He's able to pay rent.
Who needs college when you can just sit down and play video games, guys?
Dude, it requires a lot of
Professional
mental ability.
athletes.
It requires fast reflexes, okay? It requires a lot of strategy, a lot of communication, just like any other sport.
Professional athlete right there. Video gamers. He's passionate because he's a gamer.
I might be a little subjective, but
Yes, he's kind of biased because he's for
dude,
all of it.
dude, you can't just go in and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go play League of Legends, become the best player in the world." No, it requires ability, just like any other athlete out there. Just because the person's not buff doesn't mean they're not a good athlete. What if they're really smart? There's a lot of dumb athletes. There's a lot of dumb athletes that smoke marijuana, do stupid and look at League of Legends players. They're out there staying safe, staying at home, playing video games, and making a lot more money than them.
Well, alright, that will be it for our little discussion on what do we consider a sport. If there's any other non-traditional sports that are on the bottom of the list, what activities or what do you know of people play and that they think that is considered a sport? Leave a comment in the section below whether you agree or disagree with us. I think it's just a fun debate. You know, of course, everyone has their own opinion. These are our own opinions. This isn't to state that video games is officially a sport. Or if you're a chess player or if you're a poker player and you still consider these activities as a sport, you could believe what you want. This is our own belief, but it's always fun and games. So again, what do you consider a sport? What criteria do you fit with athletes and sports, or do athletes have to play? Do sports have to have athletes, or do you have to be athletic to be in a sport? Those are the questions that we have for you today. Leave a comment in the section below. Looking forward to reading those. Until next time, see you all next week with another edition of Sports Saturday. Peace.